This is a recording of a short dramatic work written by me, Christopher McCauley. Its title is Parallels and Pathways. I hope you enjoy. We begin with lights up on center stage. An older African American man sits on a bare bar stool, reading from a newspaper. Behind him lies a fully sized, modern-looking train, with closed doors on his left and his right. The train is stationary, and he looks up to his audience. There's a lonely road, paved with our bones, walked on by all, and known about by some. A path to a land that gave me hope. When I was younger, when the sun was still high, I left. Now let me tell you why. And then a younger man begins to speak as lights fade center stage, lights up on stage left, revealing this younger man wearing a working man's clothes. The man is seen pacing, impassioned about what he speaks of. The working man says, "A white man's dollar to my one dime? Is pleading for fairness such a horrible crime? I can sit by in silence and watch all the violence, or stand for my fellow man and win a dollar every now and then. But I know that they want me, only want me to exploit me. For them I am not their neighbor. I'm a persistent nuisance, at best some labor. In a land I've always called my home, where those monsters rule and freely roam, I'll tell my story, I will be known. We aren't fools or tools to use, we're not things to own." Lights fade on the working man as lights rise stage right. A man with ruffled hair, the spitting image of the working man, is seen pacing, and he is almost rambling to himself. "But speaking even once out of turn, is a horrible lesson you cannot unlearn. Watching weeping as your loved ones cry, you make one mistake, and you may well die. No, it's not fair, it never will be. There's only one choice, the choice to flee. I must make my escape before my life escapes me. I must buy my way out, or I will never be free." The worried man pacing slows, and he comes to a halt. "But even if I leave, will I have made the right choice? Will I find rest and reprieve, or will I still have no voice?" The lights fade on the worried man and rise center stage on the wizened man. And the wizened man said, "They were both very different, but they were both very right. Though their thoughts were not the same, they fought that same fight. And funnily enough, they would make the same choice the very same night." And once again the lights fade on center stage, and they simultaneously rise on stage left and stage right. The working man and the worried man both appear to be packing their belongings. The working man appears to be frustrated and angry, while the worried man appears quite anxious. They simultaneously say, "I've made my choice, it's time to go. Goodbye to the past, to the world that I know." As they act, the worried man freezes in place as if time stops. The working man continues to speak and move, with the lights still up on both men. The working man says, "I can't tell my story if I have no pages. Here there is no glory in fighting for our wages. All I want is fairness, at the least a fair chance, a way out of this misery to improve my social stance. A land of promises, a land of hope, may be the only place my brothers can avoid the rope." And time begins to slow, and it freezes as the working man finishes these last sentences. "I want them to come with me. Surely they must hurry. When time is of the essence, there is none left for worry." Time continues to slow and freezes. As the working man freezes, the worried man picks up immediately, unfrozen. "I have no time, no time to work, if working only pays a paltry penny. I have no time, no time to lurk, if I am to have hope, if I am to have any. But what of my mother, my father, my kin? Will I be able to return in the future, to see them again? I do not know. I cannot. And that fact may be haunting, but I've made my choice. I must go, though the path ahead may be daunting." And then time unfreezes for them both. They are both finished packing their things. They grab their suitcases. They both walk center stage as a spotlight illuminates each individual man. They stand on either side of the train behind the wizened man, who sits quietly on his stool. The working man says, "I go so that life may be fairer." The worried man says, "I go so that I do not live in terror." The worried and working man say together, "We go, we must." The lights fade on both of those men, leaving only the main light on the wizened man, a spotlight. And the wizened man continues to say, "And so I did. I left. I made my way up, wishing well to those below, but knowing in my heart I made the right choice to go. I'm sure you've guessed by now, but both of those men were me. A man whose father toiled with a plow, hoping his son may one day be free. I worried for my future. I worked for my future. And I walked the path set before me. Many tried, many failed, many died, and yet many prevailed. I made it, though life ain't perfect, and it never will be. The fight was worth it, because it made me into me." As the lights fade on the wizened man, so concludes the small work.